Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Board Explorer, and today I'm doing something slightly different. As you can tell, I'm in the studio, and with me is Marq English. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
Very good. You're here in the studio for the very first time.
Very first time. Been working with you sort of 2 years and a bit.
Yeah.
2.25 years, and first time I've been down to Worthing. And
so those that don't know, Mark has his own YouTube channel. He does now. Used to call it Tales and
Travels and Tales. It's actually just youtube.com/Marq English with a Q.
And your thing is
vlogs, travels, tales. I do everything from going around historic sites like you do. I talk about paranormal quite a lot, dowsing. So multiple of topic, but mainly out exploring.
So we share all of that in common, and so we'll put links in the description on how you can find Mark if you've not come across him before. But obviously, regular viewers, you've been in. We did a fantastic spoof.
Oh yes, the spoof. That was fun.
Fairly recently. That was quite.
I went past that church coming up here today.
Oh, did you?
Yes, yeah. That was fun.
Excellent.
We might do more of them.
Yeah.
The unhistory guys.
The unhistory guys. Yeah. Do you know this is off topic because we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of YouTube as a platform. And we thought that would be quite interesting because you can share your views and whatever as consumers of it. But when I started, I did think, wouldn't it be fun just to have a complete spoof channel all the way through, because you wouldn't have to do any research. You could make everything up.
Yeah, like that Philip Mercer did.
Yeah, Philip Mercer. He's
Tales of Old Sussex.
Marvellous man. Anyway, so we thought in this little video today, as Mark was coming down to see me, and we'll probably go out and do a little video. Mark at the seaside.
Yeah,
get a bucket
seaside.
Because you live in Surrey, don't you?
Surrey, yes. I'm North Surrey, yes.
So you don't get down to the coast very frequently.
We have got the lovely North Downs and countryside, Surrey Hills on our doorstep.
You do the Surrey Hills a lot, and I do so you do the North Downs, and I do the South
Downs. Yes.
And never the twain.
Yes.
So anyway, I thought it would be quite fun to talk about YouTube as a platform, because it's a unique platform. I think it is, of course, the leader in this sort of thing. And for us, it's great because it's free. If you had to pay for a platform to place your videos, and there is places like Vimeo, Dailymotion, Bit something, whatever it's called.
BitChute, BitChute,
yeah. And they're okay, but YouTube is, everybody knows it. It's like a mainstream broadcaster. Everybody knows whatever the channel is, their favourite channel, and they'll go to it. So YouTube is a great place to be discovered. But it does come with some really good stuff and some little niggles from time to time.
Yes.
So we just thought we'd just freestyle a bit on both and try and be as balanced as we can, because I'm interested in what you get out of YouTube as well. They've recently changed their system, haven't they? They've gone from the old style of uploading and putting in the description, and that took, nobody likes change. And I gather Facebook are doing a similar thing.
Facebook, I think that's coming in today or tomorrow or something. I'm not sure.
And it does take a bit of time to get used to it, but you have no choice. You've got to get used to it.
I've been on YouTube since right back from the beginning, 2006, 2007.
Yeah, now your story there is quite interesting, because you've been on that, you got a big crowd of viewers, and then you lost your passwords or something.
Yeah, and some of the old channels I lost all my passwords, because basically when Gmail came out, you could only log on to YouTube, because it's owned by YouTube. Google owns YouTube, with the new Gmail account. So I I don't really use those channels anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, they're still there. They still float about. They haven't been deleted. But yeah, I think my very first thing I ever uploaded was a trailer for a comedy I directed called Reversing the Polarity, and that was 12, 13 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still up on there. Yeah,
it's still up on there. Still getting views.
Yeah.
And all that money, ad revenue, you're not getting.
Well, there wasn't any of that back then.
No.
It was so much simpler. YouTube was just like, upload, watch, fun.
Well, ads is the thing I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people assume, I imagine people assume that you make a lot of money from the adverts on YouTube. And maybe you can, if you've got hundreds of thousands.
Casey Neistat.
Yeah. If you've got hundreds of thousands of viewers, or even millions, as some people incredibly do get. And it does seem almost impossible to imagine that you can get to that point where you've got such a number of people that actually the ads pay. I don't get. I mean, I've got ads on mine, as you will have noticed. Probably watching this one, there'll be an advert at the beginning, possibly one at the end, and I get something now. Putting out 30 videos a month, I get something between £60 and £80 a month,
which isn't too shabby, but that's a nice couple of tanks of petrol.
It's
isn't
a
it?
nice, yeah. But for 30 videos going out and about providing entertainment, it's not very. So you can't survive on it.
No.
Until you've built up an audience.
As you quite rightly say, you need sort of hundreds of thousands before you can really start making a living from it.
But there are, if you're a consumer, I wonder if people have noticed this. There seems to be more adverts now in the middle, interrupting the flow.
Yeah.
And that really annoys me because it's almost as if they just come up randomly and you're watching something and maybe it's a moment of quiet reflection or something, or someone's about to say something fascinating, and then suddenly blasting to you is this advert that's not related to anything that you're talking about and just drops the mood.
Yeah. It could be, I could be one of my paranormal episodes, not that I've got adverts on them, but something. Oh, I think I heard something there.
Don't forget to buy such and such and such and such. And it, so I don't know whether you see that I watched somebody and he seemed to think that there's a bit of a conspiracy going on at YouTube to try and push people into not having adverts at all by going on to their premium.
Yeah.
Which is okay if everybody did it and it was really cheap. But who's going to get the revenue? I mean, are the YouTube creators going to get any of the revenue from that? And if so, how are they going to dish that out?
It's also annoying when you get especially at the beginning of a video, you get your video will play after the advert, and it's a 19-second advert, and you can't skip it.
And you can't skip it, and you're waiting.
I find that I usually just tune out on those ones.
Yeah, so to me, if there are too many in the mid-roll, I think they call them, I have actually unsubscribed from a couple of people because I just think turn them off.
Of course,
presumably they can turn off those mid-roll, but they're after the revenue. So that's a little niggle. Let's find a positive that we like about YouTube.
I just love the idea that it's pretty much worldwide. Your video has gone out, and potentially you could have 9 billion people watching that video.
Yes.
Obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's 9 billion.
No, but I think it's
not everybody has the internet, but I think 70% of the world has internet now. Could be a little bit more, but yeah, that avenue you can go. I mean, we've got viewers in America, Europe, Australia, which is absolutely fantastic.
It is, and what is great is the comments generally are such a good thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Because mostly we're not that controversial.
No.
Occasionally we might, border on something, but we're not overly, there we are walking around a church or looking at a tree or a lovely landscape or whatever, and we may say something.
It's inoffensive.
Yeah. It's fairly inoffensive, but it is amazing how many thumbs downs that people give you. And I never quite understand the thumbs down.
No,
I don't even know why it's there, because people who put a thumbs down, they may have a myriad of reasons why they don't like it, but they never say.
No, I'm walking around a church. What's wrong with that?
And I get it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You just turn it off and go somewhere else. So I don't understand that. But
I've never thumbs down anything because I don't do negative.
No,
I don't see the point of doing a negative.
I've never thumbs down. I've never sort of gone, well, that's, because what's the point?
I'd just rather not watch it if I found something.
Exactly. But the comments that you get from all around the world, you get different people's perspective. And if you're, like as I've been, walking around sort of on the landscape thing, farms, and talking a bit about farming, and then you get somebody in Australia or somebody in Canada or somebody else giving you their perspective of how they see that same topic, it's really good because you wouldn't get that anywhere else.
No.
So that is a plus. Another negative on the comments is there seems to be, and I attract quite a lot, I don't know why.
I get a few. I'm getting a few more now. Yeah.
Get these bots from people saying, what was the one you said? Let's
collab.
Let's collab.
I get that a lot on Instagram.
Do you?
Yeah, these random people. Oh yeah, love your video, and they actually say your name, so you think it's personal.
Yes.
But it's not. And they go, let's collab. Well, collab on what?
And there's a one going around at the moment that's constantly on mine, and whoever or this bot must be continually making new accounts called Anna, and it's Let's Get Acquainted, and it's a picture of this woman who's obviously not a real or it might be a real picture nicked from somewhere, and of course it just leads you off to some dead end site, and also I'll get loads of ones leading you to sexy girls.
Yeah.
Well, as you can imagine, I've got a whole host of them now, and I brought one in today. Oh no, it's you, Mark. Sorry.
I'll bring mine up next.
They're all scams. All scams.
I just delete,
But it's a fag, isn't it? It's just another faff to go through and delete them all and get shot of them. So, so there's plus points and negatives on comments. I'm curious how many people watch a video and then read all the comments, because people do.
I find it very interesting, some of the comments. I read some of your ones on some of your videos, and mostly, 99.8%, they're really positive and really good and really informative. Especially when we ask people, do you know any more information about this certain site that we might have been to?
Yes.
And you get nice information. Especially, Nigel Sadler, thank you.
It is funny, though, when you say something like, I wonder what this tree is, and somebody's made that comment, and if one person's made it, about 50 other people...
Yeah, because they don't read the rest of it.
They don't see that other people have already said it. So it's like, I know now. I know what it is. Thank you.
If you've taken the time to comment on a video of mine, thank you very much. I just find it really nice. Yes. Thank you very much. You take time out your day you've enjoyed it.
And I try to reply to everyone. But as you become more popular, or a video, it's
hard.
It is hard. So I like that. So those are another negative. Another great thing about YouTube, I think, is that the quality has improved over the years.
When we first started, it was 360, I think, resolution, pixelated, looked awful.
And people can watch it on all sorts of different platforms, and they can watch it on their tellies and all of that.
The only downside of this, I think you touched upon this a few weeks ago, the problem is it depends on what device you're watching it on, because you've got all different colour settings and all your different smart TVs, on your phone, on your computer. So sometimes a video you might have edited looking really good might not look so good on someone's phone or on a tablet.
Yes.
That's the only problem.
Colour grading for all the different devices is a problem. And now, this is an interesting thing, because there is a thing that, as a consumer, you won't be aware of, but Mark pointed this out to me. When you upload your video, you may have shot it brilliantly, and it may look sharp and in focus and all of that, and then it goes through a compression, and there seems to be two different types of compression, because you say you're on a lesser...
Well, not now, I'm not, because what happens is if you're popular, there's a codex on YouTube. If you right click on a video on YouTube, you'll see this codex come up.
So if they right click on this video as it plays,
now this will go up, I think it's VO7, I think is the YouTube code, because you've got a popular... I have also now this V7 codex, because I upload to higher quality. I upload to 2560 by 1440 pixels. So I'm actually higher than the resolution I shot it on. I shot on 1080p mainly, but I've actually upscaled it. You can't tell the difference.
No.
Can't tell the difference.
So, but there used to be, if you were just starting out, you'd sort of got this lesser codec.
That's correct, and it's still there,
And so, you go to that, and then you look on YouTube, and you think, it doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise, so that's really good. Well, and
I do a bit of searching, go, how do I get rid of this, get a good codex in? But that codex can fix itself. If you suddenly got 2,000 subscribers within a couple of weeks, when you upload a video, it'll automatically go to the new video. And if your older video gets popular, it also reverts to the new codex.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. So even in time, it can just...
It can, yeah.
So they must store the original file somewhere and then do something to it.
I think so, yeah.
Don't know how.
Don't quote me on that, but that's what I read on a few sites. It's very interesting.
So that's another. So that's we're being trying to be as fair as we can. What's another niggle with the platform?
I'll be honest, I love people's comments. I mean, I'm getting a few more now of people like to. Richard gets this all the time. People do like to correct you. You might spout out so much information which is all correct, but one little thing.
Yes.
Go, no, it's this actually. It's just I wish people were a little bit more polite the way they do it. Not just it's actually this.
Yes, because the thing that I think people don't sort of think about is we all make a slip of the tongue.
Of course.
And sometimes you'll say, a date. You've got it in your mind and it comes out differently and you haven't noticed. And then in the edit you go, and sometimes in the edit you don't even notice because there's so many things. And then when it's up there and then somebody goes, well, actually, it wasn't 1834, it was 1835, you idiot.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you could have put that a bit better.
I just don't even react to it now.
No.
If it's polite, totally different. I would like to react to, as you say, reply to comments. But if someone's just quite blunt, I just can't be bothered.
Another thing that's difficult to deal with when you're on YouTube, people probably again don't understand as a consumer, is how the algorithm seems to favour certain people over others. And I remember I made a video about Lewis, my very first bald explorer, very long
Very
format
good video
one.
that was, man.
Yeah,
Very good video. Lewis is a beautiful, beautiful area.
It took quite a lot of time to put it together. A lot of research, a lot of this, that, and the other, a lot of nice shots, and blah blah blah. And I put it up in, I think, for the first 6 weeks or whatever it was. It had barely any views, and about 6 months later, it had about 500 views. And I did a search for Lewis, and there was a bloke on a motorbike who just drove through Lewis with a head cam, and he had something like 30,000 views. And his had been up there for like two weeks. And so you just go, why? How is it that one video is favoured over another? There seems to be no quality assessment of what you do.
I think it basically, it's basically what is trending in what will show up on people's news feed, depending on how good the quality of the video is. If something pops up, oh, that's what's interesting. Click.
Yeah. I know it's
We
frustrating.
we shouldn't take it personally.
No, we shouldn't. But of course, I'm just thinking that lots of people will be setting up their YouTube channels, and and I've seemed to have inspired people to have a go, and it can be very easy to become disillusioned after, say, 3 or 4 months and think, well, I'm still getting nowhere. And and the thing is, you just got to keep going. You just got, if you give up, then that's it. You've got nowhere. But you've got to keep going, because I guess the more you do, the more it's shared, and the more people get to like it, and the more relaxed you are doing it, the more popular you get.
Yeah, it's interesting. I still think YouTube is a fantastic platform. I really do.
Yeah.
I do use Vimeo, but that's more just for a backup, really. I have Amazon Prime Video. I've got videos up on there. I've got 2 feature films up on there and a load of comedies. Back when I used to be a proper filmmaker. But on YouTube, I still prefer that platform. There's something about it saying you've got your own channel. It's a nice feeling.
And that's another thing that I remember when I started off doing anything on YouTube. It was a bit, YouTube was a bit of wasn't that for people doing pranks or filming their kids or cats?
Yeah.
But now when you say, it's a YouTube channel, people take you a bit more seriously. Yeah. And especially as some of the mainstream broadcasters are beginning to lose the edge a bit, and more people are watching on things like YouTube, it's suddenly, to have a channel, there's quite a bit of respect that comes with it.
I think so. I'm a bit like you. I mean, I don't watch mainstream TV really at all. I don't watch BBC. I don't watch ITV. I like I've done a bit of Netflix. I'm not a big TV watcher, basically. No, but the main thing I watch is YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we could chat for ages, and I know we've probably gone on longer than my normal videos, but I just thought we'd just do this thing. It's lovely to see Mark here in the studio. Do put your comments down and tell us what you like and what you dislike about YouTube. It'd be fascinating to see that.
Yes, please.
Particularly as consumers, because when you're a filmmaker or when you're a video producer, you're constantly trying to work out what will people like. So your comments are invaluable to us. But we're going to go out and do a bit of filmmaking, another film.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so watch out for that. But we've done this in a different way than I normally do, so I haven't topped and tailed this, as you'll notice with...
it's raw.
It's raw. So don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, become a patron, send tons of money, and that you'll be helping out a poor little impoverished filmmaker. And now I will say arrivederci. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Richard.
And we will see you on another one.
Take care.
Bye-bye.